Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this weekend I got a car show, just a local car show in my local town, and I'm getting the truck all cleaned up as I have entered into the show, of course. So we're doing like a yearly cleanup on the truck. I do this every year. I go over the whole chassis, the frame, and I get rid of as much rust as I can, and I spray paint everything and I make it look good. And I try this once a year, like give it a good clean scrub. I think it's a good thing to do, especially if you if you just use your truck as a daily driver truck, and it's gonna get messy regardless, then whatever. But if you do have like a nice daily, you like to keep a nice daily, and you keep it in that showroom condition all the time, then you should do kind of what I do and do a once over on it. Like do a good thorough clean once or twice a year. Because our winters are so bad and we have 6 months of it, I don't bother doing it in the winter, and I'll do one good one in the summer, kind of spring. So as you, oh no, my camera just almost fell there. Hang on, let me just tighten this up a bit. Okay. So as you can see, I even got like this back bull bar here. I got it nicely touched up. It was starting to sort of fade and a little bit of surface rust, so scratched it all off, and we hit it with the nice flat black look, just to kind of keep a stealthier look under there with the Raptor bumper. So I think that looks pretty good. And if we come over onto this side here, I've already hit this side. As you can see, the frame is looking pretty clean there. I got a little bit of overspray there. I guess you can see it's still kind of wet. So once that dries, I will sand that down a little bit, and then I'll hit that again just to smoothen that out, because we don't want any drip marks. But you will have like your weld lines and all that stuff that you will see. But I also hit the leaf springs, so I gave that a good scrub too. The exhaust I'm going to leave for now because I don't have any high temp stuff with me, but I will kind of clean it up until I get as much of that dirt off as I can. But next thing, I should have done this before I actually paint everything, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow. But clean out your wheel well liners as well. And as you can see, underneath, underneath the cab, we do all that as well. So make sure you guys give a really good scrub. You don't want to spray paint over any dust or rust or anything like that stuff. So if we come over onto this side here, we're about to hit this side, so I kind of wanted to show you. So this is like as good as I get it cleaned up. Like this is rust. It's like, I have to take like a really good grinder to get all that stuff out, and we're not going to bother. So what I do in the meantime is I have one of these SOS pads right here, like a wool metal pad, and I get it nice and soaking wet with like kind of soapy water, and then I run it through all of the grooves, all the dirty spots, make sure you get all the contaminants out. And that's sort of what you're left with. Like it's pretty clean, like just a little bit of surface rust here and there, nothing too crazy. Some of you may disagree with me kind of covering that up, but generally I've never had any issues. And if you leave it exposed, it only gets any worse either, right? It's kind of like a lose-lose, unless you're willing to go over all this stuff with a grinder and then paint it, seal it properly, then whatever. But if you are going to at least seal the stuff, it at least helps prevent it from getting to oxygen as easily and then getting worse and spreading. So like I said, like this is like, it's still solid here, and I scrubbed it as best I can. So we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna hit that with the matte black as well, and then I'm gonna get my rear axle is actually pretty clean. Like I hit this I don't know, about a year ago, I guess, and it's still like really clean. So I might just leave that for now, but we'll see. But I try to clean like everywhere I can, even like in my wheel wells here. I try to get all that clean and just get all the dirt and contaminants that are like sitting up or sitting on top of your chassis. I think it's just good to do because it's very easy to have salt, rocks, grime, anything up on top of these rails here, and they sit there for years and years. Let me zoom out here. And then they just start eating away at this. So I think it's just good to do a thorough clean, get all the contaminants you see out that would be resting in high spots way up there and all that sort of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, like this is absolute overkill. So this is one of the rails. So I mean, it's already pretty clean. I haven't hit this one yet, but I just gotta basically give it a good decontamination, get all the rocks, all the dust, and then hit it with the SOS pad in a few spots, and then we'll hit that with some matte black too. So I like the way the matte black looks, especially on this gray color. Like I said, I think the bull bar looks really, really good. And then, I mean, it just looks really clean, especially once I have my wheel back on. It's just a clean look, especially once the wheel well is all, or the wheel's back on and the wheel well liner is all clean too. So what I did recently, or I should say last night, is I had chrome caps on here at one point. Toxic, as they said, toxic, and they were just really, like, they look horrible. So you can kind of see the toxic symbol through the black vinyl. What I basically did was took some black vinyl, printed out the perfect diameter of circle, which was 2.75 of an inch, and then I put it in there, and it kind of gives, I think it gives the wheel an overall kind of cleaner look. I do actually really like it, so I'm excited about that, and those worked out really well. So I got the other ones here. They're kind of just baking in the sun right now. And try to get some of the air bubbles out of them. You can see air bubbles in that one. This one's got a crumb on it or something like that. So, so we'll get those cleaned up yet, and then we'll get all those put on. If there's the odd bubble or two, it's still gonna look a heck of a lot better than the cruddy center caps I had on there previously. So, one other thing that I'm going to be doing as well is I want to plasti dip my side emblems here, so I can finally get my badges put on here. So I'm going to go with a matte black. I got matte black plasti dip, and then we're going to paint this all matte black, and then we're going to slam those on after, so people at the show know that we aren't about that EcoBoost life. We got the Coyote in here. So the truck is pretty clean. Like, I washed it, but I have to do another kind of once over, you know, with a soap wash, and then I'm gonna put a really nice wax on it. And then the interior needs a good clean out, because I'm gonna probably just have all the windows down. Not that there's a whole lot to show off in here, but so I'll give the interior a good cleaning yet, because it could use it. And then, yeah, so I'll get everything kind of cleaned up, and then we'll go over, we'll do a quick dip on this emblem. And then I kind of printed, like, I have a decal printer, so I printed off these, and I was thinking about putting them on kind of the windshield, but I'm undecided. I might print off like smaller letters, like these are 4-inch, but I might do like a 3-inch, so it's kind of like that on the banner, sort of the thinner font for the 50 and then the fatter font for the Nation, sort of kind of like the Ford Performance kind of thing. It's sort of like that, the Ford skinnier font than the Performance. I'm going to clean out this moisture yet. I don't know, this gasket on this light has trouble sealing, so it's always got moisture buildup in there. So take those Allen keys out and then give it a good clean. But we will continue on this. I'm going to hit this now. And then after we're done this, I think I'm going to do this, and then all underneath the frame here. And then after we're done that, I think we're going to do the F150 emblems. We're going to dip those. So I started putting some tape on and get the badges ready. So one good little trick you can do if you're applying painter's tape onto a vehicle is just put it onto your shirt first, and then pull up some of your sort of fluff or fabric from your shirt or dust or whatever. That way it will prevent, and it shouldn't happen, but if you have like a weaker clear coat, it will prevent anything bad, like you from peeling your paint off essentially. Especially with vehicles with like plastic bumpers and stuff like that, it seems like it's easy to peel off. One of my old cars, I had that issue. I taped a bunch of stuff up to plasti dip it, and when I went to take the tape off, I almost caused more harm than good. And you want to leave yourself, so like that's just a good thing to do, and then it makes it a little bit easier. What I like to do is to put newspapers, or like I'll tape off an area close like this. And I know plasti dip is like removable, so you can be it's pretty forgiving stuff. It's pretty forgiving stuff at the end of the day if you overspray. And I'm sure this is no secret at this point, everyone's pretty familiar with plasti dip. So, and everyone's got a different way of doing it, right? I don't know. I keep it simple, and I honestly just wing it every time, and it's worked out every time for me so far. So I'm just patient with it. I do one. My first layer is kind of like a nice breeze on, like a nice mist. You don't want to get thick. And then my second, third coat start going a little bit thicker and a little bit thicker. Obviously not to the point where you're seeing drips. That's sort of tough to avoid so far, but that kind of comes with being patient. So I'm going to shake up. I think I can get away with not having to. I may just put a piece of cardboard with me as I go around, but I don't think I'm going to go too crazy and start putting, like, I would usually put like flyers everywhere, and then just really cover off the area. But I'm not too worried. I gotta give this car a really good detail anyway, so I'll take off anything that I do over spray. I'm going to shake up this can quickly, and then we'll start spraying. One good thing to do is leave yourself maybe like 1/2 inch of border, because you're going to want something that you can pick after peel off. So it says you want to do about, we'll say 6 to 12 inches away. So, and you want to just do a nice light coat, and you want to just do in a horizontal pattern with slight overlaps of your last stroke. So that's where we're going to leave this one for now, just a very light coat. And you basically just want to just kind of powder that first layer on, and then we'll start going a little bit darker and a little bit darker. I think I missed some of the edge here, but that's all right. And then we're just going to keep doing layer until we figure that we're good enough, and then we'll peel everything off afterwards. All right, so it's been about 20-30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply our second coat. A little bit thicker, I think, this time. We'll kind of play it by ear. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that. It's better to be patient and do it as you're comfortable and then working with orange peel and a bunch of drip. Because once you get drip on a job, you almost have to stop what you're doing, let it all dry, wait a full day, sand it down, and then just try again. I know some people are really good at trying to fix it as it's wet, but I just find I make a bigger mess. So we're just gonna do it. We're gonna keep it. We have all the time in the world right now, so we're just gonna be patient. We're gonna do it right. And that was our second coat, so we'll be back right away for our third. Okay. So I'm just trying to get all of the red border, and then I'm gonna do okay, we're gonna leave it at that. Like I said, I'm gonna take it slow. I don't want drops on this. So far everything's looking really good. It's just, there's this red border. I don't know if you can see it in the video still. See there, and you can really still see that. So we're gonna do nice light coats. We're gonna keep her going. Okay, here we go with. All right, so we're gonna do the fourth coat. I'm gonna leave it at that. It is coming along quite well. That is getting more and more dark, but inside here, I wonder if those, you can see the red, I kind of in the back of the 5 there. You can kind of see a little bit of red back there still. So we'll let that dry again, and we'll keep coming back to that. All right, so we're gonna do our 5th coat. We're almost there. I'm thinking another 2 coats. We'll try to get this one a little bit more on top here to cover the rest of this red up, and then we'll leave it like that. Like I said, it's so hard not to get too excited and do a little bit too much, but we don't want that wet. We don't want that dripping at all, right? So when this does dry, it dries very nice. It looks pretty soft and wet right now, but I'm thinking 1 or 2 more coats. And I can almost, you know what, like, I don't know why I'm only doing one side at a time. I'm gonna start on the other side. We'll get it all taped up, and we can start hitting both sides at the same time. It's because before I was doing the rear end, but I'm almost got that put away now. So I'm gonna go tape up the other side and we'll start that side as well. So just so you guys can see sort of how it's turning out before I get it super wet. Right here on top of the F, it looks like it has a little bit of damage just from like just wear and tear from the sun and all that stuff. So I didn't really see that at first, so I would have maybe just sanded that down, but it's not too bad. But here's how everything sort of looks thus far. Pretty smooth and overall pretty happy once it cures out. Trying to give you guys kind of a good angles and good light so you can see sort of that looks good. There's not a lot of imperfections other than that top of that F, so it's turning out good so far. So we'll give it another blast here. And then we'll go over to the other side. We'll give this one little touch. This was the first coat I put on this side. I should have started it sooner, but I was preoccupied with all the other sort of stuff. So plasti dip, you can usually, like, if you don't do it properly, you can really see like sort of the streaks and how you painted it. I don't usually want to go vertical and mess it up. It's hard to get inside these spots here. So I kind of just hit these vertical on the sides, and then the rest I do horizontal sweeps. So once again, we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back for some more coats. I won't, we'll just wait till this one's done. I'll just keep going back for this one for now, but once this side is good and complete, then we'll leave it at that. And I'm not going to keep kind of hitting that. And then once everything's done, the truck's done, we'll do a walk around and we'll look at everything. We'll look at everything together. So we should only have 1 or 2 more coats on this guy, and then we should be good. Okay, so we're gonna hit this side one more time. I think it's getting there. So we're gonna try one more time, and I think after this one we're gonna be done. We're gonna let it dry. I'm gonna finish a few things here and there on the truck, and then we'll go hard park it, and I'll do a nice roundabout and a bunch of good shots of the exterior and the exterior, so you guys can kind of see how clean it looks. And then yeah, we'll leave it at that. So we'll finish up with this plasti dip coat, and then we'll see how everything looked out, how everything turned out. There. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that, and I'll see you guys momentarily. So get the truck all back together. I got the plasti dip all done. I'll go over that in a second. We'll do a quick walk around the truck first. So I gotta do some final details, put a nicer wax on it, and just do that sort of final spit shine, but everything else is where it needs to be and looking really good. I really hope I get to doing that dual exhaust soon. I know I said it for a long time, but that's the only thing that's kind of missing. Otherwise, this truck is just exactly where I want it to be, exactly where I need it to be. So it looks very, very good here, coming underneath. It looks really, really good, really, really clean. We got the axle. We did get the axle cleaned up after all. I figured might as well since I was already under there. The exhaust I got to do next. It's starting to look pretty bad. So that's sort of the final look on everything. Zoom out here and go underneath the wheel wells. So everything's pretty. Even the wheel wells got, all of those got washed. And it just makes it easier the next time you go wash it. That all this, years of grime buildup is all clean now. So let's see if I can get underneath there. So that's all, wheel well is all clean now, and the frame has been nicely touched up and cleaned as well. And it just makes everything look that much better. With the frame being clean, it really brings out your suspension setup more. and on this side as well. It's just looking money overall. So we got the lower control arm and the subframe all kind of nicely cleaned up as well. So the truck is dialed in and it's looking really good with the 3-inch lift, the Rancho suspension 3-inch lift with the OEM block in the rear. I think it just gives it like that perfect sort of let's go all the way up here. It gives it like that perfect overall stance and look that I'm always kind of going for. So very, very happy with it. And the plasti dip, guys, turned out really, really good. So I did my 6 coats. Sorry I didn't film just peeling it off, but it's pretty self-explanatory, that part. So I had the 1/2 inch left all the way around the badge. I did my 6 coats. On my last coat, I left it for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then I peeled the masking tape off and then peeled the plasti dip off. And everything comes with it. It's very, very easy, very, very clean. And then you're left with a little bit of plasti dip in there and a little bit of plasti dip in there. I take a toothpick, something soft that's not going to scratch your paint, or a shish kebab stick works very well too. And you can just poke it and then you get that out of there. And if there's anything like left in these little slivers here, same thing, use a toothpick and pick away at it. I find that's the best trick to do so. So we got the 5-liter badge on. These badges are on my website. They are $30 for 2 of them, and that includes free shipping. They are metal because it's hard to find the metal ones. Most of them are just cheap plastic ones. So these are metal and they look really, really good. They're really, really solid. I think Ford should have these from factory, but they don't, unfortunately. So go and like there's, you know, come back just so you guys can kind of see nice and up close. I'm not trying to hide anything here. That's sort of how the plastic look. Like everything looks really crisp, really, really clean. Very happy with how it turned out. So this was a side that we were doing in the video. This side turned out very well, except for that little kind of wrinkling we have on the top there. Everything worked out really, really good. So overall, very happy with what we worked on this weekend. And like I said, sorry I didn't film that last part, just ripping off the plasti dip. For those of you that kind of stuck around for the whole video hoping to see that, I am sorry I kind of cut that out. I forgot to film that part. But it's very, very easy to, so don't get discouraged. When it does come to that part, you will figure it out on your own, I promise. Yeah, we're ready for the car show. I got to do a few more, like I said, a little spit shine on it, but otherwise it's ready. It's good to go. We got the truck all cleaned up. I think it's good to stay on top of this stuff, you guys. Not only for resale value, but just the longevity of the truck and just the overall look of it. Just makes it look a lot better. When people see that nice black frame when they're rolling by, just, I don't know, it just kind of sweetens the pot. So make sure you guys are taking care of your stuff, taking care of your truck, and if you treat your stuff good, it'll treat you right in return. So I think that's where we'll end it off today, you guys, and thanks for being here. I'll see you guys in the next one.